Hi everyone, I'm going to do an art journal page today and let's start making some mess. I've got two stencils here that I want to use them with sprays. I have handmade sprays that I make from gel food coloring and water. I don't have measurements, I just put a few drops of the gel food coloring, add water and test if it's vibrant enough. If not, then I will add more gel food coloring. You can also make handmade sprays if you have the brush powder, or if you have a textile dyes that come in powder. A little amount of the powder with water and you've got some sprays. I have here some deli paper. You can use deli paper, you can use tissue paper, and here deli paper is sandwich paper. Deli paper here in this country comes coated with wax from both sides, so it's not something you can use with paint. So just so you will know, because in each country it's called something else. Deli paper or sandwich paper has one side matte and the other side is a little bit glossy. I'm using the matte side and I'm putting down one. I've shown this before, this technique. It's 2-in-1. That's what I call it, because I can create two painting papers with one go. So I'm putting one deli paper here and I'm going to spray it, and then I'm going to put another on top, and then I will get two from one in one go. Okay, so I've got turquoise, I've got a olive green, some neon green, I've got, I don't know, I've picked some color. I've got purple and I've got some orange. I'm just playing with the colors and I'm just spreading it around so I will get something interesting. And to get something, as I said, a 2-in-1, you don't you spray all of the stencil, not only the areas that are not covered. So I will go also here to the side. I think I'll only use these colors on this stencil, and maybe the other colors I'll do the other stencil. I don't know, I'm just playing, and whatever will be will be. Okay, so I've got coverage here. Now I'm just placing the other stencil, the other paper here. As you can see, it's already getting the sprays. I'm taking another towel because I've already got something on my fingers, and just letting it soak. It absorbs the spray quite quickly, but I just like to help it along. And of course you need for this to dry before you are continuing to do anything with it. So here I've got one that I'm moving aside to dry, taking the stencil, and here I've got the other one, and again moving it aside to dry. Now you can take another paper and just pick up the leftover spray that you have, and even try to create another painty paper. I'm just blotting this and that's it. Okay, so we've done this one. And now for the other one, although this is a little bit small than what I want, so maybe I'll pick another one now that I'm thinking about it. Let's see, I wanted something with letters, so let's see. Maybe this one. No, it seems a little bit small to me. Okay, I've got this one. Okay, so again, one here, and just putting this down, and I'm starting with the orange. I'm just doing it randomly, so whatever will be, will be. Don't much like this purple, but that's okay. Let's take another color. I'm going wild this with the colors. Some red. Just having fun. And just a little bit of the, yeah, just letting them mix and spread, so I will have something interesting. And once again, just putting another on top. It doesn't have to be precise, it doesn't have to be anything. Of course, if you don't like this, you can use the stencils and stencil away with acrylic paint. I'm going for this grungy look. Okay, lifting and moving aside to dry. You can do this with printer paper, it doesn't have to be deli paper. And again, I'm just going for this kind of grungy look. I don't really care about it looking perfect. Let's blot this. Okay. So I'm going to let all this papers dry, and then we'll start the art journal page. I'll be back. Okay, so I've got two of the painty papers that we've done, and what I'm going to do is start by this. I'm going to adhere it to the page just with a white glue, nothing to it, just spreading it. Trying to be quick about it. Okay, so just laying this, putting this down. Don't care about wrinkles. Here we go. I'll take out the the excess later. Right now I'm just putting it down, and now I've got the other one. And again, I don't care about the details. This is only part of the background. This is not supposed to be perfect, but if you want to go for perfect, of course you can always go and do and just take the stencil and stencil away something that will be perfect. It's up to you. I'm going to take out the mandala out of this paper. I don't need all of it. I'm also thinking to just take part of it so I'm just going around and taking just what I want out of it, so I have more of a flower shape. Almost. It's a little bit hard to cut this because it's a thin paper. Of course, if I decide that I want some details to show from the mandala, I can always take any kind of marker that I want and go in and pick up the details that I'm interested in. So that's another way to go about it. Okay, so I've got this, and now I'm just deciding how much of it I want on my page. If I want it completely in, part of it, and I'm thinking something like that. So I'm going to trim this right here, just going to fold it so I'll have something to go by. Here we go. Very colorful. I'm going to go on top of all the page with the glue, just so it would be the same consistency all around and not just where I'm putting it to adhere the mandala. Yeah, okay. It's also acts as a sealant. Not that it really needs to have a sealant, but it's nice. And everything will look the same in terms of the finish look. Okay, so this of course needs to be dry completely before I'm going and adding some focal point. So I'll be back. Okay, so this is dry, and before I'm going for my focal point that I'm going to make from this stencil, this is one of my stencils, I decided that I want a little bit more details in the background, and they need to be subtle, but there, and I'm picking, this is Uniball Signo Gold marker, and I'm just going to randomly pick details from the stencil, and I'm not even doing it the same on each one, just picking up some details in all kinds of places just so it would be interesting. Now you probably can't see it, but it's here. Metallics just don't show very much in a video. Maybe later on, if I tilt it, you can see it. So I'm just playing around and adding some details in some places. I really don't care, it's quite random. I'm picking the details. Here we go. Quite randomly. I don't know, maybe you can see it if when I'm tilting it, I'm not sure. Okay, don't know if it worked, but it's here. Okay, so now I've got my stencil and I've got some white gesso here and a makeup sponge. That's what I'm going to use for the stencil. You can use white acrylic paint. I just picked gesso because it's a more it's thicker, it dries faster, it's more opaque when it dries, but that's it. No other reason. You can use white acrylic paint or whatever you want to stencil on top. And of course I made a mess and managed to put some on my hands. Okay, so I'm taking a little bit of the gesso on a makeup sponge, dabbing the excess and starting to stencil. Sometimes on top of something very colorful you will need more than one layer of gesso or acrylic paint. Sometimes I like to leave it as is and be a little bit translucent to pick up the details from the background, and sometimes I want it to be completely opaque. So once again, up to you what you like. Just going in some places again where I think it's needed. Okay, I think that's good enough. Now I have to let this dry before I continue. I want to go and do a contour line and maybe add some color on the white in several places. Maybe even, I think, use a white marker to connect some of the leaves to the stem. We'll see. So I'm just going to let this dry before I'm ruining another marker, and I'll be back. Okay, so I connected the leaves to the stem with just a white marker, and now I'm going to use a gel pen to go around, and again I'm going very loosely because that's how I like things, and it just giving me trouble right now and doesn't want to work, but here we go. I'm finding out that I really like things that are loose and not precise. So intentionally I'm going like this. I hope you can see what I'm doing. You can use any marker that you like. I picked this gel roll marker because the color just fit what I wanted to do. You can use all kinds of permanent markers. You can even use a regular felt pens. Yeah. Okay, so now I just want to add a hint of color, and I'm thinking I'm just going to use a felt pen, and let's see, I'm taking a brush with water, just putting down a little bit here and activating it with water. So very, very simple. Very easy. For all intent and purposes, this is like a little ink pad that reacts with water, so it can be used as almost like as its watercolor. Yeah, maybe a little bit more. What I like about it is that with the felt pen I can go into small places and be exact, and then I can go with a brush and spread it around very easily. So I'm a little bit more in control that way. Okay, I like it. I like it, and I'm looking at it and thinking what else, because I'm feeling like I need something more. Maybe I'll just go around and frame the page with a darker color all around. Let's see. What color to choose? I'm gonna try and go with this seedless preserve, and we'll see how it looks. And a makeup brush. Went well with the colors today. Sometimes you want subtle, sometimes you want all the colors of the rainbow. Okay, I want it a little bit more bold on the page, so I'm switching to a larger brush. Starting to take shape. Sometimes it's something like just framing your page that makes everything come together. And I really like how it picks up some of the wrinkles. It just adding texture to the whole thing and more interest. Okay. I need the heat tool to remove the masking tape here. That's what happens when you don't have patience. My heat tool is not connected right now to the electricity, so I'll do it by hand and do some fixing later on if it's needed. It's good enough. Okay, so taking a step back, I'm thinking I'm leaving it as is. I'm tempted to stamp in the background, but I'm leaving it as is. I like it. So this is it for today. Thank you for watching, and thank you for leaving me comments down below. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.